Hey everyone, it's Spencer here with nichepursuits.com. We're going to get started here in just a minute. So if you're joining now, thank you very much. It's just going to be a couple of minutes while we kind of test out some of the technology, make sure the sound and the visuals are working and everything like that. So give us just a second here. I think we've got Jake and Jason that have joined us. And so Jake and Jason, if you're there, if you could just say hello, let us know if you can hear me and if I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here. You're coming through loud and clear. How about me?
Excellent. You are doing the same. I can hear you just great. Jason, what about you?
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Yep,
Yep.
sure can. Coming through loud
We
and
did
clear.
it.
We did it.
Did.
Another successful start to a presentation here. So I'm so excited to be here, guys. I see that a lot of people are still joining, so we are, of course, going to give people a couple of minutes to get on. But you should be seeing the initial slide here, how to get Google organic traffic in 2018 and beyond. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I haven't officially started yet, but we are going to get started here in just a minute. So if you are coming on to the presentation now, if you could hop on over to the chat, just let me know that you can hear me and that you can see the screen and that everything looks good on your end. We're going to have a lot of feedback back and forth in the chat. And so please go ahead and let me know that everything is good to go on your end there in the chat. I am seeing a lot of people saying hello. Actually, let me scroll through here. Quite a few saying, yeah, Andy is saying, hear you loud and clear. Avi, yep, coming in good. Other people are looks like they're able to hear me. So yeah, as you guys join, I know there's going to be a lot more people trying to get in. Sometimes it takes a while when everybody's trying to join right at the start. As people are starting to join in, again, just let me know if you can see my screen. You should see the initial slide that says how to get Google organic traffic in 2018 and beyond. And hopefully you can hear me. And if those two things are the case, go ahead and put in the chat box that, yep, I can hear you, Spencer, loud and clear, and that you can see my screen. That would be good. Some of the initial feedback I'm getting here is definitely people saying that they can hear me and that things appear to be good. Okay, very good. And I'm going to get up to speed with scrolling through this chat. There we go. Got the new messages coming in at the top. So yeah, Kyle, Kevin, Jules, Carol, a lot of people are saying that they can hear me. Sarah, Ron, sounds good. Michelle, and yeah, Michelle says she can hear all right and can see the slide, so perfect. Deborah's asking if there'll be a replay. We always do our best to record, so I hope that we'll be able to do that, but live's the safest way, of course. So perfect. Austin saying yes, Shannon yes, John yes. Excellent, guys. We're going to it's going to be about a minute before we get started officially. As you come in and are joining the webinar, again, my name's Spencer here at Niche Pursuits. So if that's what you're hoping to get, you're in the right place. If you could just let me know where you are joining from. It's always interesting to see where people are in the United States or all over the world. I happen to be in Richland, Washington. So it's on the West Coast up in the great Northwest in the Tri-Cities area of Washington. I've got a Seattle guy there, Brandon. Awesome. Boy, that's going pretty quick. Eugene, Oregon, New York, Guatemala. Awesome. We've got Richmond, British Columbia, Bangladesh. Awesome. Townsville, Australia, Nova Scotia. Chiming in from Utah. Ooh, Jared from Mesa, Arizona. That is where I grew up. I love Mesa, Arizona. Got another Arizona. Boston, Malaysia, Las Vegas. Nancy loves Nova Scotia. Virginia Beach, Los Angeles. Awesome, guys. We got people all over West Coast, East Coast, all over the world. It's good to have you guys. Taiwan. Yeah, lots of several Arizona people there. I know Jason as well. Is you in Gilbert or Chandler now, Jason?
In Chandler, right off the Gilbert border, actually. Yep.
That's right. And Jake, where are you in from?
Coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've seen a couple of fellow Ohio people on the webinar here, so we're off to a really great start in that regard.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
It's good. We got some hometown folks cheering us on, right?
Absolutely.
So, we're going to deliver here tonight. So let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. We've got a lot of people here already.
Sorry, Nicardo gave me an OH on the chat there. I had to give him an IO just to let him know. That's an Ohio thing, Spencer. I had to do it.
All right. Hey, whatever. It's an insider.
Anywhere you are in the world, you yell out OH, an Ohio person's going to yell out IO. So sorry. We can continue now.
Glad we got that covered. Hey, that's your first tip, guys, of the night. Right there. Learn something. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the presentation, we are going to cover a ton. We're going to deliver a lot of value here for you guys tonight. A lot of tips to help you get Google organic traffic in 2018 and beyond. That is the goal here. And specifically, I'm going to go ahead and change slides here. The goal for the night, if I can do this one thing and deliver on this one promise, I want to teach you how to get thousands of organic visitors to your low authority site without waiting years to see results. So if I can do that, is that something that you guys would be interested in? If I'm able to deliver on that promise of how to get tons of organic visitors, even if your site is low authority, go ahead and put a yes in there if you feel like that would be sort of mission accomplished tonight if we're able to do that. That is the main goal for tonight, is to share that tip with you. So that is the overarching theme. I'm getting lots of yeses, heck yes, heck yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are on board, because that is what I'm going to dive into. I'm going to share the specific tips that have worked well for me, but also we're going to bring in Jake and Jason. I'm going to introduce these guys officially here in a second. These are strategies that have been working really well for us. This is the main goal for the evening here tonight. But I do want to make sure that you stick around to the end, because I am going to be providing a lot of value throughout the night tonight. But at the end, I'm going to share a couple of things that I hope you stick around for. One is I'm going to just tempt you with straight up Amazon gift cards. All right, I'll be honest. Everybody likes shopping on Amazon. I'm going to just give it to you. So I'm giving away 4 Amazon gift cards for people that are live on the webinar tonight. Obviously, the recording will be too late. Yeah.
Sorry, but I think I'm seeing you still on the title slide, so I don't know if your presentation might have.
Okay, let's do a quick let's do a quick refresh.
It caught up there, yep.
Okay. And perfect. Yeah, please chime in if that happens again. Should be seeing the Amazon gift card sort of
stay until the end. Yeah, we've got it until
the end. So throughout the presentation, I'm going to be giving away 4 different gift cards. The lowest value is $25. It's going to go up from there. So stick around and pay attention. The next thing that I'm going to share with you is a keyword scoring spreadsheet demo. This is a screenshot from that. At the end, I'm going to give you an unblurred version, and I'm going to actually walk through a couple of examples. This is a spreadsheet that I've developed just in the last 2 months, that I take a targeted keyword along with lots of other factors, and it's as simple as filling out the spreadsheet. There's about 10 cells that you fill out. It sort of asks you questions with yes or no, or different data that I'll show you. And it comes with a final keyword score that you can know with confidence whether you should go after this keyword or not. It's really awesome. I put a ton of time and effort. As you can see, it's color coded, and you can already see that sort of it is blurred, but there is a third keyword that you can see is green and the other 2 are red. So the spreadsheet is already telling me which keywords I should go after. So I'm going to show that and do a demonstration of that at the end. So please stick around. I think you'll find it quite interesting and helpful. All right, now we're jumping over to the Meet the Niche Pursuits team. So again, my name is Spencer Hawes. I am the founder of nichepursuits.com. Most of you guys should know who I am. Hopefully that's why you're here on the live presentation. I just a few things about me. You know, I bootstrapped, launched Longtail Pro from nothing to 7-figure business. Just in December of 2017, about 8-9 months ago, I sold an Amazon FBA business for about $425,000. And of course, all along the way, I've been managing several profitable niche websites that we're going to talk about specifically here tonight. But I've done a lot of different things online. I've been a full-time online entrepreneur since 2011. That's just a little bit of my background. I'll give you a little bit more here in a second, but I'm going to let these other guys introduce themselves so you know who they are. Jake, go ahead.
Sure thing. I think our slide's stuck again, Spencer, but I'll go ahead and do my introduction here, guys. I've been working with Spencer for a little over almost 4 years now, and started my own niche sites back in 2008. Became a Niche Pursuits reader after that. As mentioned earlier, I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, so my first site ever was about baseball stadiums. It's still out there. Ballparksavvy.com is my first website, and so I've gone on to do others, and I've had a few other sites and other niches that have been really successful, following a bunch of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight and stuff that we talk about on Niche Pursuits and things like that. And so anyway, really excited to be here with you guys tonight. Hopefully you'll get some really good, useful information out of this.
Hey guys, this is Jason. I am also part of the Niche Pursuits team. I've been with Spencer since about April of 2017, so almost a year and a half now. Started building sites back in 2013 when I first started following Spencer on his blog, even though I have known him for many years. Since then, I have sold a couple of sites a few years back. And then about 2 years ago, those of you that have listened to Spencer's most recent podcast may have heard a little bit more about my history. About 2.5 years ago, I started my primary site, which now gets about 180,000 organic visits per month. So it's going well. And got some experience in a different industry before this one. I was in corporate for 14 years before that, so I have experience managing processes, which has definitely helped my my site building aspirations. And yeah, just really glad to be part of the team and love working for Niche Pursuits.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I know there was another slide issue. Hopefully, we're all caught up now on the Meet the Niche Pursuits team here.
You may want to try to reconnect, Spencer. Mine shows a black screen, says loading, and looks like some others are seeing the same. So
okay, well, let's give that a shot here. What I'll do here.
It might be your America Online. I don't know if you're still on that 300-hour package or.
Yeah, my CD may have run out there.
Yeah, might have run out.
So
that what? Maybe too many kids streaming in your house, Spencer. You need to limit the bandwidth.
There you go. All right. I just turned the screen share off. Now turning it back on. Hopefully that does the trick. People still remember AOL? A few people there.
Oh, yeah.
You got me.
We're back to the team slide here. I see your mouse moving, so that's a good sign.
Now we're at the next one, hopefully.
Yep. That's going to need an explanation.
We better explain this picture. This is my fish out of water picture, guys. Believe it or not, this is me a long time ago trying to figure out what I'm doing in life, right? So for a long time, I honestly was like a fish out of water, especially when it came to building online businesses. So I built my very first site back in 2005. I had the idea to just figure out how to build sites, how to get something online, and didn't even know what Google was. Google, of course, was in its infancy then. I didn't really understand search engines, but I built a site, got it out there. And along the way, as I researched more how to figure out how to start making money online, I miserably failed, to be honest. From 2005 to 2009, I built tons of sites. I tried every strategy under the sun that you can possibly imagine. I made really no income until about 2009. And even then, it was very minimal. So honestly, I was ready to quit this online stuff after about 4 or 5 years, from 2005 to 2009, 2010. I put a lot of effort in working after my corporate job, coming home at night, putting in tons of hours. And I was ready to call it quits. But luckily, I didn't do that. I stuck with it. The light bulb went on at some point in 2010, and in 2011, I was able to quit my job. what I was able to do was to discover what I'm going to share with you, a new strategy, a different way to go after keywords, to think about what's competitive, what's not competitive, how does Google actually work, how are you able to rank your site and get great organic traffic. And so I'm going to be sharing with you some of that process, how the light bulb went on for me and what is still working to this day. And not only just with niche sites, but what I've applied across the board, all of my businesses. Niche pursuits, I get tons of free organic traffic from Google every single day. When I built my e-commerce business that I just sold about 9 months ago, how did I generate a ton of traffic to my website? It was organic traffic from Google. And even Longtail Pro, I put a blog and other traffic generation strategies in place there and was getting many visitors every day for free from Google. So this light bulb moment was a big one for me, and I still use it. And I think it's something that you guys can apply into your own business as well. So before I dive into what those strategies are, I know I promised an update on Niche Site Project 4. You should be seeing the slide now for Niche Site Project 4. A quick update here. So
Frozen.
Okay, maybe I just need a refresh every time.
Yeah, sorry. I
Safe.
was clicking your bullets when you did the fish out of water, and then that switch didn't happen.
All right.
More refreshing, Spencer. You got to tell us that picture of you. Is that one of your early rooms when you were in college or something like that?
That would have been before college, back at home, still living with my parents. Believe it.
All right.
Yeah, back in the good old days. So, all right, we good?
Yep.
All right. So Niche Site Project 4, here's what I've done so far to provide an update. I found a niche, bought a domain. Of course, if you've been following along, you know that I initially went into one niche, decided I didn't like that niche after doing some research, changed directions, and but now I'm good. I've found a great niche. I purchased the domain. I've set up hosting and installed WordPress. And I've also installed GeneratePress as the WordPress theme I'm going to be using. I went ahead and got the premium theme that gives you a little bit more flexibility in how you can customize that. I've found over 50 great low competition keywords initially that I've got on a nice spreadsheet. And I can now say that I have hired a writer as of last week. I have a couple more potential writers that I'm going to test out and see how they do. But for now, I've assigned writer number 1 the first 2 articles, and she's going to be working on that. In fact, is working on it now. She sent me an update, and so it's moving along. I'm really excited. I think things are going to go well. The niche is a good one. And then another quick update here is I actually got a screenshot here of my own spreadsheet that I'm using for Niche Site Project 4. Of course, I blurred this out because I'm not revealing the keywords or the niche just yet. But you can see here, if you look, the targeted keyword, the main keyword for, I only have 2 articles right now that I'm got sort of figured out. But each of those targeted keywords has 2 or 3 sub keywords that you can see as well. And you can see the search volume, the keyword competitiveness score, and then the word count target. So how long are these articles going to be? So you can get a good idea of what I'm looking at. You know, for example, the first main keyword I'm targeting gets searched for 480 times per month, has a KC score of 29, and I'm asking the author to write between 1,800 to 2,000 words for that article. So hopefully you guys find that a little bit interesting, just to see how I organize my articles and allow my authors to look at this spreadsheet and give them a word count target. And we're actually going to cover how we come up with some of those word count targets just a little bit, and some of that information. So that's where I'm at for Niche Site Project 4. I will have a little bit of time at the end of the presentation to answer any additional questions about Niche Site Project 4. But otherwise, we are going to move on. So again, the main goal here tonight is I want to talk about how to get thousands of organic visitors to your low authority site without waiting years to see results. That's the main idea. That's the promise that we have here for tonight. So let's jump right into it. Secret number one that I've got is, and this is honestly the light bulb moment that changed everything in my business, that changed my my path forever, is that low search volume keywords are often better than high search volume keywords. And this is a huge paradigm shift for me, because a lot of people, and including me, I would look at these high volume keywords. This is where all the money's made. If I can just rank for credit cards or some other big keyword, I'm going to be making so much money, it's not going to matter. That's it. I just got to rank for one or two keywords. I'll just work on this one or two keywords for a couple of years and I'm set for life. Well, turns out that it doesn't quite work like that. There's so much competition for these high volume keywords. And it wasn't until the light bulb went on for me that I realized, you know what? If I go after these low volume, low competition keywords, I can rank quickly without very much effort. And then I can just produce lots of great content. And suddenly I'm ranking for hundreds or thousands, as I'll show you here in a second, keywords, and I can start making money much, much faster. And so there's a couple of reasons you might want to do this. So the secret number one, again, is to target long tail keywords. And so what are the results that are happening right now in 2018? So this is a screenshot of a website, of a niche site that I currently own, that has, the traffic has more than doubled since July of last year. So the last 12 months, the traffic has more than doubled. And this, this site's a couple of years old. You can see the trajectory here. Each and every month, the traffic has increased. I've done this with no link building. I've done no outreach, no trying to get links to my website. And now this site is getting almost 3,000 visitors a day. And honestly, it's because I'm just targeting these long tail keywords. And I'm going to show you how to find these long tail keywords here in just a second if you stick around. But that's the big shift that I think a lot of people need to make, is that it's okay to go after low search volume keywords. It really is okay. And these results that I'm seeing right now with one of my niche sites is evidence of that. And so it's not like my site is a high authority site. It's not. It's a low authority site, as you can see from these screenshots. Tobias is asking what % of that is organic traffic. 90% is organic traffic. And in fact, that screenshot may have only been the organic traffic, but the overall traffic is 90% comes from Google, just to clarify. So, and this site that I just showed you that screenshot, you look at Ahrefs rank, it has a UR rating of 13 and a domain rating of 3.1. That's almost zero, right? It's not an authoritative site. The domain authority is 26. You can see also from, this is a Moz screenshot, you can see that there are 189 linking domains. You might think, well, how do you have 189 sites linking to you if you didn't do any link building? Well, it just happens naturally. When you target a low competition keyword, you often will rank very quickly and often on the first page. And then when other sites are doing their research, they're writing articles, they do a quick search, they see your site and go, okay, well, I'll link to that site. It's on the first page. It must be good. So honestly, all of these have just come naturally. I've done no manual outreach trying to get these links. This is just producing content, the links coming in naturally. So even with a low authority site, you can produce content targeting long tail keywords and get lots and lots of traffic. Okay, so that's a live example. And this next screenshot is showing you the earnings that site is generating. So this is a screenshot. You can see the dates up there from July 1st to July 31st of this year. $1,600 is what it got just through Mediavine. This is a lot of the advertising is coming through Mediavine, and there is some more earnings on Amazon as well, but this is just the Mediavine ads. So that answers David's question there. So I just wanted to show both the traffic results and the earning results, right? So for me, this is a very passive site. All that I'm doing is finding new keywords, and Jake is helping me with this as well. Honestly, we just submit that over to the writer. The writer writes it. It gets published, and that's about it. After doing some minor editing, we hit publish and move on to the next keyword.
Hey, Spencer, how many hours a week do you think that we're putting in on this site right now, if you had to guess?
Not very many. And honestly, as I mentioned, Jake is helping me out with this. I personally put in really close to 0 hours a week.
Right.
You know, in a month, I'm putting in less than 2 hours for sure. Jake is maybe putting an hour or two total. And Jake, maybe you can clarify that.
Yeah, like you said, it's very minimal. We've been fortunate that we found a writer that really gets what we want. And so honestly, the stuff that I do, you know, we could outsource that publishing to WordPress. So yeah,
right.
Hour or two a week. It's very passive.
Yep, exactly. So these are the kinds of results that I am achieving right now, and that it is definitely still possible to achieve these types of results. So let me just clarify a little bit about what is a long tail keyword, because this is the big aha moment. And some of you may have heard me talk about this, but it's so critically important that I think it needs to be internalized. So we've got this graph that up on the top left, it shows high traffic, high competition keywords. Those are difficult to rank for. They might get a lot of traffic, but they're not worth targeting because there's so much competition. On the other end of the spectrum, you have these low traffic, low competition keywords. These are often keywords that get searched for less than 500 times per month, maybe even 100 times per month, right? You can go out on that tail of that graph to the right as far as you want. What's great about these keywords is not only are they lower competition, but in aggregate, overall, there's actually more traffic there. And what I mean by that is if you were to add up all the keywords in the world, the high traffic keywords actually make up about only 30% of all search traffic. 70% of all search engine traffic is to these low volume, low traffic, low competition type keywords. So not only is there more traffic if you produce more articles, they're easier to rank for. So I would try to internalize this. I don't know how strongly I can state that, but hopefully I've done a good enough job there. So now I want to give a couple of tips of how you can target and find these long tail keywords and give a couple of examples. So the easiest way to do this is honestly to copy the competition, to look at other affiliate sites. When you're looking at a keyword, are there other affiliate sites ranking on that first page? And in particular, are they low authority affiliate sites? And if there are, then you also have a good shot of ranking for that particular keyword. For example, best walkers for seniors. It gets searched for 880 times per month. I would recommend looking for 3 or more other affiliate sites on the first page of Google. And then if they're low authority sites, that's a bonus and a plus. That's definitely what you want to see. So let's go ahead and take a look at this example. So I've got a screenshot here of that particular keyword, best walkers for seniors. And I've highlighted in the top 10 results right now on Google, there are 3 sites that are affiliate sites. You can see those red arrows there, hopefully. So that's telling me that yes, affiliate sites are ranking for this keyword. There's at least 3 there. Now more would be better, of course, but 3 is a nice sort of target to shoot for. If you can see 3 other affiliate sites ranking, it might be worth going after. A way to kind of double check to see if it's going after is to kind of look at the number of backlinks, the number of authority, or not the number, the amount of authority that those individual sites have. This is a screenshot from Longtail Pro that will give you all of that data. I'm not going to dive into specifically about Longtail Pro, but it's a great tool that can help you quickly look at the authority of sites, the number of backlinks, all the site age, everything, right, for any given particular keyword. In this particular example, another way that you can get some authority metrics is to install the free Moz Chrome extension. And by doing that, I can see one of these results that was in the top 10 is smilingsenior.com. It has a domain authority of 8. So it's a really weak, really low authority website. That should give you confidence that, look, if this site that has almost no authority is ranking for this particular keyword, if they can rank, then certainly I can rank well. If I produce at least as good a content as they're doing, and even longer or better content is going to give you that edge, right? So that's my quick tips for how to find those long tail keywords that are worth targeting. Is look for those affiliate sites, look for those sites that have low authority. And an additional way that you can find additional long tail keywords is to take then this smilingsenior.com and see what keywords they are ranking for. Okay, and a tool that you can do that with is SEMrush. If you go over there and plug in smilingsenior.com, you will be able to see that, okay, here's a few other keywords that they're ranking for that maybe you hadn't have thought of. Elderly mobility scale, medical alert system, no monthly fee, best walkers for seniors. These are all keywords that they're ranking for as a low authority site that you might consider targeting and trying to rank for as well. So I know I packed a lot of that in the last 5 minutes or so, but it's a huge tip. That is one of the main strategies that I've done on that screenshot of that niche site that I just showed you. We're producing content that other sites that are lower authority are ranking for. We just try to produce a little bit better content and then outrank them. All right. And Jason, if you're able to see the next slide here, the secret number 2, let me know. Jason's going to cover quality content and a few other tips there.
Yeah, you bet. Spencer, I cannot see the slide.
Okay.
So just to give you a heads up, you may want to refresh it.
I will just keep refreshing there, and I think we'll be good to go. So Jason,
cool. Yep.
Dive into secret number 2 here.
Yeah. So you've heard us talk about quality content, and that doesn't necessarily mean more scholarly or advanced reading level content. It doesn't mean go out there and produce content that you need a doctorate degree or need an advanced degree to read. It also doesn't mean just go out there and create content that's 10,000 words just to create content. It should have a purpose and it should have a use. Those that have listened to the recent podcast will have heard me talk about one of the strategies that I have is going back and refreshing some of my older content. Well, anytime I do that, I'm generally going more in depth. If there's something that needs to be purged, I will purge it, but I will make sure that the content is more in depth and that there is more usability for the reader. Everything I add serves a purpose. So, Spencer, if you want to flip to the next slide where we can talk about how an example of producing dominant content. We've got a article that I actually wrote. And I wrote this, I think, probably within a couple of months of joining your team. It was at the time some themes that I've had experience with in my own niche site building career, where I've used these different types of themes. And I actually would consider myself somewhat of a theme junkie. There was a while before I hired a developer to build my own custom theme that I would go out there and I would just test different themes to see which ones I liked the best. And this article I wrote, it took me, the better part of 3 weeks to compile all the data, go back and look at all the themes that I had used, do my speed tests, do everything that needed to go into this article. And this article ended up over 10,000 words. Now, you don't need to go out there and produce content that's 10,000 words. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you that in this particular article, that's the way it worked out for me, because there was enough content there to justify 10,000 words when it comes to walking through specific WordPress themes that I had experience with. Another thing you'll notice is this article, it's easy to update when new themes come out. So we'll be going back sometime in the next few months, probably, to this article, and we'll be adding or pruning out content, maybe there are themes that are no longer supported or themes that we've had experience with, like Spencer just mentioned, Generate Press for the new niche site project that we're putting together. That's a theme that we're currently toying with. And so that's something that might get added to this roundup. So how you produce dominant content is you go out there and you look at what your competitors are doing for your keywords. You analyze what's out there in the field of competition and make sure your content is better. And that's what we did with this article. I still think this article is better than what's out there, and we'll look to add to it. Spencer, if you want to go ahead and flip over to the next slide, where we can talk about writing for readers, which again, you just heard me talk about producing quality content. One of the things you need to do is you need to be writing for your audience, not search engines. So a lot of affiliate marketers will go out there and put out content that they think, hey, this is what the search engine is going to want to see. And that's the wrong approach. You want to write content. Yes, you want to have it centered around the keywords that you know your readers are searching for, but you want to make sure that you're writing for your audience, that it's easy to read and it's tailored to them, not what the search engines are looking for. You want to format your content so it's easy to read. That means making sure that visually your content is appealing. Don't have 10-point font on your main content or 8-point font to make it so small to read, but don't make 30-point font content so that it takes up the entire page. You want to have it to be visually pleasing. You're also going to want to choose a WordPress theme that is easy to navigate and to review the content. So we just mentioned GeneratePress is one that we're tinkering with. We've used some Thrive themes in the past on some of our sites. That's another great company that produces some quality themes. And in-depth content doesn't really mean more complex. Like if you go back and read the article here for the best WordPress themes, the way I write it, it's not overly complex. You don't need an advanced degree to understand what I'm going through. It just means that I spent a lot of time researching that content. When you do that, you're giving yourself more opportunities for additional keywords. So for 10,000 words, this post actually only ranks for about 893 organic keywords. This will change over time because we will go back in and add more content or revise it to target additional keywords. This content has been around for about a year, so it's due for an update. It's not uncommon for some pieces of content to rank for 2,000 to 3,000 different organic keywords when it's produced and it's well researched. So again, you don't have to write 10,000 words in one piece. And in fact, we're going to look at another example on the next slide where we actually wrote a much smaller piece, but because the keyword research was dialed in, we're actually ranking for more keywords because we did keyword research appropriately. So you can see this additional example. This is we hid the 3-word keyword because it's a site that we're currently working on, and it's actually the same site that Spencer referenced in his earlier slide where he talked about the earnings. And this particular keyword that we were going after, it's a 3-word keyword. The article only has 1,200 words. But the average competition in the top 10, most people put together less than 700 words of content for this keyword. So for us, this was extremely easy to go out and say, all right, to beat this, we really only need to produce an article that's ranking, or an article that is more quality than the articles that have produced only 700 words total on the page. So it was really easy for us to go out and write a very in-depth post on this topic, add some additional keywords, and as a result, we're ranking for over 1,600 different keywords for this article, and it gets a very good share of traffic on this site. And again, this is another just example of you don't need to have tons and tons of words on a page just to take it up. We answered the question and provided the users everything they needed to get out of that article with 1,200 words, and that's exactly the type of content that Google is looking for. So Spencer, if you want to move to the next slide, we can talk about exactly how, again, we've got the blueprint here for producing dominant content. So longer content generally equals more in-depth research. So that's why you probably see a lot of longer form content these days ranking in the top of Google. Now, I know that may not last forever. There are lots of other metrics that Google puts into place when determining what goes into their top 10. But generally speaking, the longest content that's well researched is what ranks. As you've heard me say, don't go out there and just throw together 10,000 words of content just to beat everybody else out. Because if your content's not readable, if your paragraphs aren't put together the correct way, if it doesn't read correctly, then it's not going to rank. You want to make sure that every part of your content has some type of purpose to it when you're putting together your article. You're going to need to spend time researching your topic thoroughly to make sure that you're producing this dominant content. You can't just go out and be an expert tomorrow on how to drive a self, or what the best self-driving cars are. You're not going to know. You don't have any experience writing in that. I mean, maybe some of you do. Maybe some of you are working in that field now, but the majority of us don't know what self-driving cars are all about. So you're not going to be an expert without going out and actually spending time to research the topic. You're going to look for ways to more thoroughly answer questions. So maybe if you're struggling to come up with ideas on specific keywords that people would be looking for related to your topic, you could think about what kind of questions they might ask. And we've got an example down below that I'll cover in just a minute. But thinking through questions that your readers might be looking for with regards to your topic can be very valuable. You're going to want to expand your content when called for. If there's a specific section of your content that's only 2 or 3 sentences that doesn't really have the depth that you need, spend more time researching it and add more content where it makes sense. And then everybody's heard me say revise and add to your content when called for. We talked about this, Spencer, in the podcast, where I go back and I'm updating my articles, and I would strongly recommend that everybody here does that. If you see that you have an article that's ranking well in Google and you're ranking in the top 3 to 4 pages after you've produced the content, and it's been a couple of months, go back and see what you can tweak. See if you can make that content better, and you can add that to add some additional keywords to something that's already ranking. So here's a great example. Let's say you're doing an article on the best salt and pepper shaker. You're going to have your intro. You're going to do your 10 best salt and pepper shakers. We're going to have them listed out and broken into specific products, and we're going to cover why each one of these salt and pepper shakers are great, and why you might like them, and why you think they're great. We're gonna create another section at the bottom on the best way to use them. Maybe there are specific ways that people use these salt and pepper shakers, the way they cook. So we would have different sections for that. And then we'd also have a section on if it changes for geographical influences. So maybe somebody in Canada uses a salt and pepper shaker different than somebody who lives in Turkey, or somebody that lives in Italy. Maybe they don't even use salt and pepper shakers. But those are things that you would want to condense into that section of geographical influences. And then towards the end of this giant review, we would make sure we have an FAQ section where we go through 5 to maybe 15 of the most common questions that people might have about salt and pepper shakers. And that could be a wide variety. You've got a very broad net that you can use. And that's, again, just another way to help cover this topic in depth to make sure the user has everything they need when they come to your content and not go anywhere else. So Spencer, that's, again, this is something that I've been doing in my own sites. I know we do it for all of your properties too, but it's something that's definitely helped me achieve some great results. And that's on top of the next strategy that we're going to talk about, which I've also seen some good results. I've been following yours and Jake's lead on this next strategy. We're going to talk a little bit about this last secret, and I'm going to let Jake jump in and take that away whenever he's ready.
Yeah. And if I may jump in here, not to intrude here, Jake, but I'm going to go ahead and let's give away a couple of these Amazon gift cards for people that have stuck around so far or still paying attention here. I'm going to actually do two of these Amazon gift cards here to wake some people up. So get over by your computer, because it's going to be a fastest finger response here. I'm going to ask a question. Whoever has the first correct response is going to get a $25 Amazon gift card for this one. So Jake and Jason, you do your best to view the
We're ready. Yeah,
the
this will be
comments
simple.
there, and then we'll have to contact them privately and get their email address so we can take care of that.
Okay.
So in what year did I quit my job? I shared that at the beginning of the presentation. In what year did I quit my job and go online full time? So let's see who.
Oh, Don.
Oh,
We got Don.
Don has got it there. There's a lot of people shortly after.
Nice.
2011 was the correct answer. We got a ton of people that got it right. A lot of other people that got it wrong. Still coming in. Thank you guys. 2011, it was Don. So maybe Jason, if you can scroll through there and contact Don privately. I'm going to do another one. So since you're at your keyboard, again, fastest finger here. we're going to do another one. So be ready to type in, get your number pad ready on this one. This Amazon gift card is going to be $50. All right, we're doubling it up. So $50 Amazon gift card on this one. How much money does my niche site make? The screenshot that I showed you from Mediavine, approximately how much money was the site making in July of 2018? I don't need it to the dollar, just round it to the $100.
Norm.
Was it Norm?
Well, it was Don. What's going on with Don? What is he like?
Who's this Don guy? Knows every
Is that like
answer.
Jason in disguise or something? Jason, are you signed in as Don?
I think it actually may have been Don again. Well, hey.
But Norm was second, right? I mean,
Norm,
so
yeah.
win twice.
I don't know what the official rules say there, Jason. You may have to figure that one out. The correct answer was $1,600 from Mediavine ads. Thank you, guys. We're going to have 2 more of these giveaways, so don't go away. And the dollar amount is going to go up. It will be more than $50 on the next 2. So with that, everybody's awake now, Jake, so take it away.
Sweet. And by the way, Spencer, on the slides, I mean, some of them have been working. So if you want to try at least to go through mine and do it, and if it needs a refresh, I'll tell you. But some of them have been working with before you do the refresh. So it's up to you.
Sounds good.
All right. So secret number 3 that I'm going to talk about is that Pinterest can drive immediate traffic, but also help you get organic traffic from Google. And so I'm going to share some of my experience using Pinterest over the last couple of years and how it's worked out. So go ahead and hit the slide and let's see if it works. Did you do it?
I'm guessing that's a no.
I saw your mouse come in and then nothing happened. What is the deal?
All right, we should be good now.
Okay. All right. So first, let's talk about why Pinterest. All right. So I've seen estimates of about 200 million monthly users of Pinterest, active users. So maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but it's a lot of people. Obviously, it's grown really rapidly over the last few years. Another thing that I really like about it is that there's no real, it doesn't seem to be any real sandbox effect, which is a term you may have heard people talk about, like with Google. Like if you buy a brand new domain name, that Google kind of throws you in a sandbox for 6 months, maybe up to a year, where they're not really going to take your site too seriously as far as ranking you near the top until they sort of figure out who you are. And with Pinterest, I think there's some ways to sort of shortcut that, where you can get results much, much faster in, a month or 2, or sometimes even weeks, or even days. Might be getting a little bit lucky to do it that quickly, but certainly you can turn in much faster results if you have a strategy and kind of know what you're doing a little bit. Another thing that I like about Pinterest and why I think it's worth your time, if you're not trying to use it at all right now for your niche site or for your brand, is that it provides consistent long-term traffic compared to other social media sources, in my opinion. So things like Instagram, Twitter, even Facebook, unless something goes really viral, they have more of a news feed style where, your stuff shows up for a little bit, but then other people post stuff and you kind of get buried down. And so after a couple of days, your post isn't fresh anymore and it kind of disappears. Nobody's really seeing it anymore. Whereas with Pinterest, what's cool about it is that if you put out really good content and people start pinning it, and somebody sees it on one of my boards and then they pin it to their board about their favorite chocolate cake recipes, and that just goes on and on and on. So that creates like a separate URL for, let's just say Dawn, her pin, she pinned my chocolate cake recipe. So now it's on her board. Now it's over here. And so I've had stuff that is done well on Pinterest that gets sort of picked up and gets popular. And the tentacles just kind of run deep throughout Pinterest. So it just starts appearing in a bunch of different places, a bunch of different boards. And so what that ultimately results to is that you can have a pin that does well today and have like old content that still brings you traffic over the long term. And so I like Pinterest. I like YouTube too. I'm not going to talk about YouTube, but for a lot of the same reasons, you can kind of have an evergreen content. The other thing is that it is available in almost any niche. we even have a friend in sort of the same niche as like Niche Pursuits, kind of the internet marketing type stuff that does well on Pinterest. And so a lot of times you just think about recipes and crafts and things like that. And certainly that's probably the bread and butter of Pinterest. But with a little bit of creativity, even if you're in a boring niche, usually you can find a way to take advantage of some of that Pinterest traffic. So for example, if we did a site about senior living or something like that, grandma and grandpa might not be Pinterest's target audience, right? They're probably not out there right now scrolling through Pinterest. However, doing topics that maybe their kids would be interested in, sort of middle-aged adults, a checklist for caring for your elderly parents, or trips you can take, fun trips for your kids that include grandma and grandpa, stuff like that, that's very shareable and pinnable. You could still do as sort of a boring, shall I say boring senior site. You can still get Pinterest-worthy content out of that kind of site. So if you've thought about it and thought, well, my site's not a good fit, my guess is that if you really dove in and brainstormed a little bit, you would find some topics where you could get in there and take advantage of some of this traffic. And so the other thing, and this is what I'm going to show you, what I'm sort of convinced I saw, and I'll give you at least some theories on why I think it worked, is that you'll see a possible bump in Google rankings and traffic. And that's what we're sort of here to talk about. And that's where we get most of our traffic, is organic Google traffic. But I think all of the benefits of Pinterest and that social traffic really do help you in Google as well. So let's pull up the next slide. I'm going to show you a screenshot of my top earning site that I own personally. And I think you will have to do a refresh here, Spencer. But I'm going to show you a screenshot of when we got serious about Pinterest. We hadn't really paid any attention to it, and this was a couple of years ago now. So this is when we started to focus on Pinterest. This is right at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016 in this case. And so you can see this is just showing you social referral traffic from Pinterest for our Google Analytics account. So we started doing, creating our own boards and using Tailwind and some things I'm going to talk about more in just a moment. But you can see the curve here. And now we're going to pull up the next slide and show you what the organic traffic looked like during the same exact time frame. So go ahead and, so yeah, that did transfer over. So you're good there. So you can see the effect on organic traffic, and Spencer kind of bounced back and forth for you because they look almost identical. So in the same time, we weren't really building links. We weren't really doing anything like that. We were producing some content, but at the time it wasn't much because we were writing it all of ourselves. This site, when I say I actually partner with a family member on this site. So we were kind of tag teaming it. So we were producing very little new content, but we saw our rankings start to rise. And so not only were we picking up Pinterest traffic, but we were picking up a lot of new Google traffic, and we were ranking for all kinds of stuff. So let's go to the next slide, and I'll give you a couple reasons why I think this is the case and just things that I saw. Why would Pinterest success help your Google rankings? So why the bump? And again, here are my thoughts. There's a lot of, I guess some of this, maybe is a little bit anecdotal, I guess, as far as evidence is concerned. But my thoughts are that you get many relevant natural links. And so these are no follow links. So when we talk about like juice passing links, these are like do follow links. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds there on SEO stuff. So technically speaking, like they don't pass SEO juice to your website, or at least that they shouldn't. But I do believe that Google sees that these are sort of real, when you start getting stuff that's repinned by real popular Pinterest accounts and people are like legitimately pinning that out and putting even a no follow link to your site, I do believe that that's helpful. And so you're getting a lot of like no follow links that are sort of getting created from a very real, authentic place. That's getting a lot of traffic, and I think Google sees that and rewards you for it. There are also other studies out there that kind of go to that idea of just external traffic in general, and that it can help you with Google. And I know Jason's done some experimenting there that he could talk about, but we might get too far down the rabbit hole. But there was an interesting study. You could Google it from Cognitive SEO, and they did a similar thing with Reddit. And they had something that kind of went viral on Reddit and saw a bump in their organic traffic for like some really competitive stuff right along with that. And so there's some data out there that suggests that Google really likes seeing that organic traffic come in. And then another thing that's really happened, and again, I couldn't go back and prove this to you in a court of law, but I know that I've seen it happen, is that it creates opportunities for other more SEO friendly juice passing links, if you will. And so what I mean is at the time we had a pretty small site. I mean, you saw the traffic numbers. We weren't getting a lot of traffic when we started Pinterest, but we weren't doing any outreach or link building or anything like that at the time. But what happens is we started getting traffic and eyeballs on a lot of visual content on Pinterest that people were repinning and liking and things like that. And then I noticed in some tools like Ahrefs that we were picking up real links on sites. And so what I think was happening in there, and certainly what you have the opportunity for, is if you can dive in and get some Pinterest traffic, people are seeing that content and they may repin it, which is great. But also they might find, hey, this is a really good resource and I'm going to reference this or link over to this from one of my blog posts. And so at this point, we've got a ton of those kinds of links, and that content I know does really, really well on Pinterest that we've picked up links for. And so I certainly think that those two things are connected. So those are just a few reasons why Pinterest can definitely help you sort of in the long run get a little bit of a bump with your Google organic traffic as well. So on the final slide I've got here, I'm just going to talk to you about, give you kind of the basics if you want to dive into this. So if you want to flip the slide there, if you flipped it, I'm not seeing it. So if you're looking to get started with this, I'm just going to give you a few quick tips. So Pinterest is, of course, a search engine like Google. It's a visual search engine. I've heard some people call it like a dumb Google, as far as you have to be keyword focused, like with your board names and your pin descriptions and things like that. So like keyword stuffing is more effective on Pinterest than it is on Google, which now, of course, that could get you penalized. So it's important that when you start with Pinterest that you do set up keyword focused board names. So, if you don't have an account at all today, go in and think about it like blog categories. Go in and create 10 or 15 or so boards that are kind of keyword focused. Don't overthink it when you're thinking about the board names, because when people go search those terms, you want to make it things people are searching for. You want your boards to have an opportunity to show up. And if those keywords aren't there, you're not going to show up, because that's just how Pinterest understands what your board is about. You can use free tools out there like Canva, which is just a free visual design tool. You want to create, the number now is 600 by 900 is kind of the ratio that Pinterest recommends. You can also do 600 by 600 if you want more of a square image, but do like pin friendly images. And if I think I've got one, if you want to try to pull that up, Spencer, just to show you, you can do like collage style. There you can see 15 ways to use coconut oil or something like that. And I think you'll have to refresh, Spencer. It looks like it's frozen at this point. But you can kind of do a text and image overlay in Canva. It's free. It's very easy to use. So tools like that can certainly get you started. And then you can use Tailwind as a tool I mentioned. That is a paid tool. I think it's around $20 a month or something like that. So if you want to really put it on autopilot, which is what we did early on, you can get in there and create a schedule of 30, 40, 50 pins a day. And just for a good easy ratio, maybe do about a 50-50 mix. That's still kind of what we do. So 50% of the stuff you pin is your own content, driving traffic back to your blog. 50% is other stuff that you think your audience is really going to like. So I try to find stuff that looks really sharp, stuff that seems like it does really well on Pinterest, other popular content. That's the kind of stuff that I want to pin, make sure I'm not pinning any garbage. So Tailwind will speed that up. But if you don't want to spend any money, you absolutely can do it manually as well. You'll just be spending a lot of hours on Pinterest, which maybe you do anyway, right? And then so you can schedule most of your pins for prime time. Just sort of a quick tip, this time of evening really, is a great time to schedule on Pinterest. So most audiences, like that's sort of peak time for Pinterest. Yours may be a little bit different, but that's sort of a good default thing to do. So think about that when people are probably home on their computers or on their phones scanning through Pinterest. And then remember to be keyword focused with your descriptions and also your hashtags. So you don't want to use like clever jargon and stuff like that nobody's really going to say. You want to keep it pretty basic. You want to keep it pretty simple as far as how you're describing stuff, because that's what's going to make you show up naturally in Pinterest's search. And then finally, you can use Tailwind tribes, which you do have to be a paying Tailwind member to do that. And then also group boards to a lesser extent now in 2018. But these are just a couple of quick ways, things you can look into to increase your reach early on. Because when you first start out, if you're starting from zero today and you go start pinning stuff, you have no followers, right? So who's going to see your stuff? Like, unless you have like a blog audience, you could drive to it. So what Tailwind Tribes and group boards let you do, you just want to make sure that you join like legit ones. There's a lot of spammers out there, so you don't want to get in where you're in these group boards with spammy people and stuff like that. Hopefully that goes without saying. But if you get in the right ones, sort of the right neighborhoods, a lot of times people will share your content, and it's a way to really amplify out to a bigger audience of people when you don't have any followers yourself. And it can be very, very effective to make this take effect very quickly in weeks, maybe months at the most. And so definitely dive in there, start thinking creative, and Pinterest can really help you out in more ways than one. So I think I'm turning it back over to Spencer at this point.
Yep, you sure are. Thank you, Jake.
Yep.
And just so people know, Jake was talking about his site. He didn't share how much that site is making. I won't share the specific numbers myself, but it's doing very well. It makes more than 6 figures a year. We're going to have a podcast coming out soon. So spoiler alert, Jake has a site making a ton of money. That's separate from the site that I talked about at the beginning that was my niche site. So Jake's got his own, does very well with his own site, and Pinterest has been a big part of that.
True. And real quick, Spencer, before you go on, Jason, not to put you on the spot, but I know you started really diving into Pinterest recently, and you saw the same because the screenshot I showed, a couple years ago is when we got serious about it. But I know you saw some nice results as far as an uptick in organic as well. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I can't quantify it right now because I don't have my analytics in front of me, but I can tell you that I've definitely seen a increase in overall organic traffic since Pinterest has taken off for me a few months ago. So I've seen it on not just it's almost honestly been like site wide. It hasn't even been just across like one or two that took off. I do have one or two that have gotten virally shared on Pinterest, but I would say that the benefit has been pretty much site wide since we started seeing results.
Yep.
And Jason, your site is getting how much traffic from Pinterest now daily?
Yeah, it's getting anywhere from about 1,000 to 2,000 hits a day just from Pinterest.
Awesome. That's huge.
It is.
I love it. Good stuff. So before we move on to the next thing, I am going to ask you something, but I think it's time to give another one of those Amazon gift cards away. This is the third one for the night. I'm going to give away a $75 Amazon gift card here for the first one to answer this question. All right, so get ready for that. This question does come from Jake's section here. Jake mentioned a free tool for editing images. What is the name of the free tool that Jake mentioned to help edit your Pinterest images? So let's see here. Who can get that?
I saw Jason first.
I saw Jason.
I see a Jason as well.
And
Congrats,
about
Jason.
100 other people also saying Canva. Canva is the correct answer. We got a couple Tailwinds in there. Tailwind's another great tool, but Canva is the somebody said word perfect. That got me. Word perfect. That's old school.
It is old school.
Does that even work anymore?
I don't know.
Very good. So $75 gift card goes to Jason. Canva was the correct answer. I'm going to be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card here in probably another 15 minutes or so here in a little bit. So stick around for that. Also stick around. I'm going to be showing the keyword scoring spreadsheet that I've created. I'm going to show a live demo of that spreadsheet. So check that out here in just a little bit. So please stick around. But before I show you those things and give away that Amazon gift card, I'd like to ask you something. I have been working, for a long time on something, and I've been working for a long time on my niche sites and developing my processes. These are just 3 of the tips that I've shared tonight. We talked about long tail keywords and how that's dramatically changed my business. We've talked about producing dominant content. Jason dove into that, and strategies that have worked really well for us, both for updating our content and making sure that we're producing better content than what is existing out there. Jake brought it home here with the third point of Pinterest and how that can not only get you immediate traffic, but can also help you improve your organic traffic in Google. So I mean, can you guys imagine yourselves what it would be like to have consistent daily free traffic from Google coming to your website, thousands of visitors a day? You know, what would it be like if that traffic was enough to earn you commissions of an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month? As I showed, just one of my niche sites is making over $1,600 a month. It's pretty passive. You know, how would that feel if month in and month out you could log into your Mediavine account or your Amazon Associates account and see that $1,000 or $2,000? And is it too crazy to think that, you know, what if it was enough to replace your day job income? You know, I quit my day job back in 2011, and it was from building niche sites. It was from getting organic traffic from Google. So this is stuff that I'm not just saying, it's very possible. And so it's okay to imagine that what if this could replace that day job income for you? I've been living this sort of living off my internet income for over 7 years now. You know, what would it feel like to you and your family if you were able to have your mortgage paid every month by your internet income each and every month from these websites that you've been able to build up and from this Google organic traffic? These really are not pipe dreams. Jake, Jason, and myself, we each make over $10,000 a month from our Google organic powered websites. Jason has his own portfolio of sites. Jake has his own portfolio of sites. I have my own portfolio of sites. They each make over $10,000 per month. They're bringing in that income for us. And let me refresh that screen there. So I just want you guys to think about that, you know, what the future could be like. Just imagine, you know, what these sites could do for you. And so I've gone ahead and I've actually created something for you guys. Is it okay if I show you what I've created for you? I've spent the past hour here, actually an hour, 7 minutes, it says we've been on here, I've shared hopefully a lot of value here, but I've created something. I want to spend just a few minutes showing you what I've been working on for the past few months, actually Jake, Jason, and I. So I'm getting a lot of people saying, please do, yes. If it's okay if I show that with you, please go ahead and comment and let me know. It's just going to take a few minutes. I want to show you what I've been working on and how that might be able to help you out. So good. I'm getting lots of people saying to go ahead. So I am going to move ahead and show you what we've been working on for the last few months here. And it's called Organic Traffic Formula. And what Organic Traffic Formula is it is an in-depth video training course that's going to go beyond just these 3 tips and strategies that we've shared with you tonight. It's going to go over all of the strategies that we use in our own websites to go from scratch all the way to successful website, the keyword strategies, the website building strategies, the social media strategies, all geared around getting organic traffic from Google. This in-depth video course is going to help you build a site that's going to be successful and rank well in Google. So I want to share with you exactly what is in Organic Traffic Formula. So as I mentioned first, it is an in-depth video training course. We've created 7 in-depth modules. There's over 43 videos. So we put a ton of time and effort going over all the details that you'll need to follow along and build your own site along with. Just those videos alone, I know other people out there are charging $2,000 for their in-depth courses. So I'm confident in saying that I could charge for this video training course $1,997. It really is worth that much, the amount of hours that we put into that. But what I want to do now is actually walk you through specifically what is in those 7 training modules. And Jake, just let me know if my screens are not showing up as I scroll through these. So in module 1, these are the 6 videos that are in module 1. First, we're going to dive into how do websites get traffic, what's the overall strategy that you should be following. We're going to dive into how do websites make money, different advertising strategies and affiliate strategies. And then a video on the 6-month growth strategy. I walk you through month by month and almost week by week. Here's what you should be accomplishing, a checklist for that first 6 months. What keywords you should be looking for. Should you be doing any link building? How to stay organized and structured. We're going to talk about the long tail keyword strategy, how to rank in Google. You're going to get a firm foundation of what that strategy should be and an exact blueprint of how to follow that, strategy. So then in module 2 that you can see here is niche selection. We're going to go niche selection 101, and this is so important. Even I just recently picked a niche for my site, and then after having Jake and Jason, we all talked about it. We said, you know what? I'm going to pass on that niche. I'm going to go after a different niche. So if I had followed my own suggestions in the course, I probably could have avoided that niche selection snafu there. But I'm going to go into niche selection 101, how to use keyword sampling to find a niche, understanding Google page one competition, finding your doppelgangers. These are these low competition sites that are out there. How do you find those? How do you use those? What are some other tools that you can use to help verify your niche? It's an in-depth video training module, number 2. Number 3 here is branding, hosting, and WordPress basics. For some of you, maybe you can skip this section, although I will say that there's 2 or 3 videos in here that I would not recommend skipping. Maybe you think you've got hosting figured out and some WordPress basics, but there is some more advanced stuff in here in branding and domain selection, the plugins that we use to improve site performance, and even the affiliate plugins that we use to increase earnings. So these are some in-depth videos that show you step-by-step how we tweak our sites to earn the most, to run faster. We all know that speed is a ranking factor in Google, and we show you how to do that to set up your site for success. So in the next module, I think I'm on module 4 here now, is sort of—
Hey, Spencer, you're frozen again. You may want to refresh.
I will do that. Thank you. Yep. All right, we should be back. Hopefully everybody can still hear me as well. Got the screen refreshed. So in module number 5 is the keyword core formulas. We're going to talk—
Spencer, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me? Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Spencer. Yep.
Okay. Maybe you can private message Jake to let him know. I think everybody else can hear me. So I'm going to go ahead and move on here. So keyword research building blocks. I've got what's called the keyword justice system. This is, if you imagine a scale set here, it determines how much promotion is going to be needed for any given keyword. How much link building promotion depends on the type of keyword that you select. And I'm going to give you that system that I use. And then comes the keyword research core formulas and the keyword research scoring spreadsheet. I've alluded to that. I'm going to show you that here at the end of the presentation. But this is the formulas that I use to find those killer keywords, those diamonds and those rough. Again, the formulas, the spreadsheet that you can fill out to know for sure that you're targeting an easy to rank for keyword. And then is the Robin Hood method. And you'll learn more about that, how you can make big money from one small change. And then free word research, one of my favorite. These are all free tools that you can use to do in-depth keyword research. So even though there are a lot of great paid tools out there, and I still do use some of those tools, you can get a lot of great keyword ideas from using free tools. And we're going to dive into that, specifically how you can do that. All right, and then on to module 5. This is an in-depth one. This is on-page SEO and monetization.
And Spencer, you're frozen again, sir.
Yep. All right. We've got the alpha male content strategy. Jason talked about this a little bit, actually, when he was talking about how to produce dominant content. We've got a specific formula and strategy that we use to make sure that we are the alpha male content, to make sure we're the dominant content out there. There's specific things out there, specifically about 12 different factors that you can look at to make sure that you are the alpha male content. How to write the perfect title, article structure to maximize rankings. I've got a content scoring spreadsheet that you can use and fill out. How to use the Yoast SEO plugin, the content refresh strategy, another video on the keyword cannibalization killer. There's a lot of stuff here, just even discussing it. You can see it there, hopefully on the screen. And then sixth here, we're going to talk about link building essentials. Even though some of my sites, I don't do a lot of link building, other sites do require either more link building, or if you want your site to take off quicker, these are the link building strategies that you can implement to make that happen. Google does still value links, and those are important. So we've got our link building and outreach essentials, broken link building, how you can steal your competitor backlinks. We talk about helper reporter, the link magnet, and other creative link building strategies. And then in the final module here, we talk more about the organic Pinterest traffic engine and Pinterest automation. So Jake actually recorded a couple of these videos. So if you like what Jake had to say in the brief amount of time that he had on the webinar tonight, you'll love the videos that he shares here in this module. And then we also do dive into building a Facebook following and building a winning Facebook ad. So those are all the modules that are in Organic Traffic Formula. So again, those 7 in-depth video training modules, there's over 43 of those. But there's more than that. I also am going to deliver my very own standard operating procedures and my 6 article templates. These are templates that you can read through and follow step by step to write the articles yourself, or you can turn those over to your outsourced writers and they can follow these templates. So let me show you a couple of examples of those article templates because they are highly valuable. So this is a buying guide template. You can see the introduction there, but it walks you through exactly what you need to do. It says, here's the introduction. Here's how many words are in the introduction, what you should include in the introduction. It goes through, I can't scroll through this on here, but it scrolls through every section that should be included in your article if you're doing a buying guide. This is the perfect thing that you should be giving to your authors or using yourself. I'm going to refresh my screen here real quick. You can at least see the second template here now. That should be loading up. This is a review post template. And again, it's going to tell you how to do the product overview, how to do the product pros and cons. Jake and Jason, are you guys able to see the screen? I'm still getting a few people that are saying
yeah, we can see the OTF review post that's up now. Yep.
Okay, good. I think it was just lagging there a little bit. As I grab a drink of water. So again, we've got the in-depth training modules, the article templates, and the standard operating procedures. And then I've also got my keyword and content scoring spreadsheets and formulas that I alluded to. I spent several hours, several days working on these, perfecting the sort of color-coded spreadsheets that I use and that you can now use on your own websites. And so here is actually an unblurred version of that. You can at least see what it looks like, not all of it. There's several more cells on this spreadsheet, but you can see that there is it's very simple to use. I'll just say that. There's a total keyword score there that's highlighted, a column in the middle. And if it's green, it's worth going after. If it's red, don't go after it. So best adjustable dumbbells is not a keyword I would target, but best non-slip bathtub mat is. It got a green after I filled out this particular keyword spreadsheet. So as you look at that, I mean, would you guys find that valuable if you had a spreadsheet that told you as plain as day in green or red if this is a keyword you should be spending your time on and writing an article? I mean, can you imagine how much easier that would be than second guessing and just writing a bunch of articles and potentially wasting your money? If you're able to just focus your time and energy on writing those articles that you knew could produce results, that's going to be huge. And so that's why I created that keyword scoring spreadsheet. I also created a content scoring spreadsheet. So after you create your article, you can actually go through this entire spreadsheet and say, you know, things like, of course, did I include the keyword in the title? Did I include the keyword in the intro? But then there's another 10 metrics that you need to fill out on this spreadsheet that will give you I call an alpha male score that will tell you if you really are producing dominant content. Let me refresh here real quick. And so these are two different spreadsheets that you guys are going to get when you join Organic Traffic Formula today. So again, we've got the in-depth training videos, the standard operating procedures, the 6 article templates, and the keyword and content scoring spreadsheets and formulas that you can use. And then this is something that I have never revealed before. You're going to get access to my niche site making $1,600 a month that I referred to earlier. And what I mean is that I'm going to reveal the domain name. You can go check out that site yourself. You can see the kinds of articles that I'm writing about and use it as a template to see what a successful site looks like and how you can implement the exact same strategies on your site. It's something that I think would be very valuable, especially if I was just getting started out, to have an example to follow. So you're going to get access to that niche site along with some case studies that are in the organic traffic formula itself. There's a few videos where we go through this particular niche site, and hopefully you'll be able to use that to your advantage. So again, you can see the actual URL of that website. And on here again, you can see the screenshot of the traffic. You'll be able to see the URL of that. The site currently attracts nearly 3,000 visitors a day. You can spy on the types of content and what is working. And then, of course, the case studies that I talked about that's inside the members area. And you can use that as a guide to build your own website. And I should clarify, this site has never been revealed before. So you will be the first sort of public students, if you will, to be able to see this website at all. So just to review everything that you'll get when you join Organic Traffic Formula here tonight, you're going to get the 7 in-depth training modules. You're going to get the standard operating procedures and 6 article templates, the keyword and content scoring spreadsheets and formulas. You're going to get access to my niche site that's making $1,600 a month. And you'll also get access to the private alumni Facebook group. There's going to be an Organic Traffic Formula Facebook group where you can interact with other students and, of course, get tips and advice from them. And then Jake, Jason, and I will be jumping in there as well to answer any questions that might be remaining as well. So it's a great networking group, place where you can interact with other people learning the same strategies that you're learning at the same time. I should also mention that you will be getting lifetime access and free updates. This is going to be a one-time purchase, and you will get lifetime access to Organic Traffic Formula. So if I ever make updates in the future, which it is going to be regularly updated with new videos and new strategies as we learn them, you're in for life, okay? Now, I do have a few other bonuses that I want to talk about here. This first bonus is good for 7 days only. So only people that join in the first 7 days are going to get 3 live workshops put on by myself, Jake, and Jason. These are going to be live presentations similar to tonight, where you'll have a chance to ask questions. We'll dive into specific strategies and additional tips that are working really well on our site. These live presentations will take place in the first couple of months after you join. Bonus number 2 here, again, this is only in the first 7 days, will be new module creation. You as founding members will be able to pick. You'll be able to say, you know what, Spencer, we would like a new module on this particular subject, and we will go and create that. So only founding members that join in the first 7 days will be able to provide that specific feedback on what those new modules will be, and you can drive the direction of the course there. And so, however, for people that are willing to join before the 7 days, I've got 2 different 24-hour bonuses. These are people that if you join tonight, if you join in the first 24 hours, and this is a big one here, we're going to do a niche verification service by the coaches. So what that means is that if you're debating what niche you should go into, if you've said, okay, I think I want to go into niche XYZ, but I'm not sure, you can send that in to myself and my team here. We're going to dive into that niche and give you, of course, a yes or no if we think that's a good niche to go into. But we'll also dive into what are some other websites that are doing well in that particular niche that you can emulate and follow. It's going to be a very hands-on process. We're going to respond specifically to your niche request. It's very individualized there. And we can't do that for everybody. It would take a long time, but we will do it for everybody that joins in the first 24 hours only. All right, bonus number 4, I think is what we're at here. Again, in the first 24 hours only, we're going to give you a starter keyword plan. So we will go out, my team and I, you're going to tell us what your niche is. We are going to personally go out and find you 10 great keywords, low competition keywords that if we were building the site, we would target. And we will give that plan to you so you can start off on the right foot and know that you're targeting the right keywords that can bring in organic traffic from Google. So as I go through all of those, each of those individually, because of the amount of time that we both put into the presentations and the amount of time we will have to put into the bonuses, the total value is over $5,000. I do charge $500 per hour for my time, and I've had lots of people take me up on that. So I'm confident that I could charge that much. I think the value is there. So if all I did was set you on a path to a site making an extra $1,000 a month, do you think it would be worth it to join Organic Traffic Formula? If I just gave you confidence in the right keywords, the right content, and the right path to a successful business, would it be worth it? If you thought about having a step-by-step organic plan that could be applied over and over again, as I mentioned, I've applied this in my software business. I've applied this in my authority sites. I've applied this strategy in my e-commerce business that I sold. If I gave you that step-by-step organic plan, would that be something nice to have? If I was able to give you a kickstart and the motivation you needed to build something real, would that be something that would help you join and find the value there? Now, remember, I am nothing special. I'm bringing us back to the fish out of water picture here. I started, honestly, I failed for years trying to get traffic from Google before I got it. I'm not an amazing writer. In fact, I outsource the content. You don't have to have some special writing skill. You can outsource this content. I'm not a programmer. I don't have special technical expertise in order to do this and what I've been able to accomplish. I don't have all of that advanced skills that some might think you need. But I have spent hours experimenting what works in Google that I'm going to give you for a small investment today. Okay. So you can struggle and perhaps waste time trying to figure out what works on your own. Like I did, I spent 4 to 5 years struggling and trying to figure out how to rank in Google, or you could skip ahead and do it right the first time. Okay. So today you can join Organic Traffic Formula and get everything that I've already shared with you here, the in-depth modules, the standard operating procedures, the keyword and content scoring spreadsheet, access to my niche site that's making over $1,600 a month, the private alumni Facebook group that you can use for networking, You're going to get lifetime access and free updates. You're going to get 4 bonuses here. You're going to get 3 live workshops with all of the coaches. You're going to get the ability to drive the direction of new module creation. We're going to give you a niche verification. You can send us what your niche is, and we'll tell you if it's good or bad and the initial plan to follow. And then we're going to give you the starter keyword plan as well. So we're going to find you 10 keywords that we believe you should be targeting that you're going to set you on the right path to success. All right, so you can get started now on organic traffic formula. You can get immediate access by going to nichepursuits.com/traffic. And of course, I'm not going to charge you that full price that you saw there. You can join today for just a small investment, one time of $597. I think it's well worth the value that you're going to receive. Again, organic traffic formula, you can go to nichepursuits.com/traffic. And if you do that in the first 24 hours, not only are you going to be able to keep access to everything that I mentioned, but you're going to get those special bonuses that are only available to those people, the niche verification service, the keyword starter plan, and the video modules are something that you can refer back to over and over and over again, depending on the process that you're in, the place that you're at when you're building your website. If you're at the beginning, you can watch certain videos. If you're having trouble with Pinterest, you can watch certain videos. If you're having troubles figuring out what template you should be using or how to find certain keywords, it's all there in the videos that you can go and access. So again, you can go to nichepursuits.com/traffic. The doors are now open for the first time. You can be a founding member. And so I hope that some of you will take me up on that. I do think it is it's going to be a lot of value. Jake, Jason, and I have put a lot of effort into that. I should clarify that Jason has recorded some of the videos. Jake has recorded some of the videos. I have recorded some of the videos. So you're really getting 3 coaches that are well experienced and have sites that are doing really well, all as teachers there inside of the course. You're getting sort of 3 for 1 in terms of different perspectives, different examples that we can all share. And hopefully we all have the answers to any questions that you might have. So again, go to nichepursuits.com/traffic. Okay. And so with that, we are going to, there are a couple of more things that I promised. We're going to do some Q&A here as well. So let's go ahead and jump into some of those questions that may be coming in. So if you do have any additional questions, please put those in the chat box there, and we'll try to get to those. Jake or Jason, do you see any that have come in specifically that you think we should answer now?
Yeah, there was one that I think it was Brandon, he may have mentioned, and this is from earlier, and forgive me, folks, if you have questions, throw them into the chat so we can tackle them now, because there's been a lot of messages and we can't just go back through and look for all of them. So make sure to sprinkle those in now so we can answer them. The one I wanted to tackle was Brandon. He had one that said, he wanted to know how viable it was to do 10,000 words of content, especially on mobile, because he felt it didn't look good. And I totally get where he's coming from. What I would say to that is it really depends on 2 things, in my opinion. Number one, it depends on the way your website's optimized, because if you've invested in the way your site looks, whether that's time or money, and your site looks really good on mobile, I think that 10,000 words can look great. If you go and look at the article that we did on Niche Pursuits on the WordPress themes, you'll see what I'm talking about. Spencer's site looks fantastic on mobile. The article reads well. It's also formatted very well. So if you put in the time I think it can look just fine on mobile. And in fact, it can even do better for you on display ads, because the more content you have, the more space you have to do ads. Like if you're doing like Mediavine, they can do like 30 ads on the page because you've got so much content. So it can work, but that doesn't mean just go out and do 10,000 words to do that 10,000 words. If you can answer all of your users' intent in 5,000 words, do that. Just make sure that it looks really good, and I think it can still look great on mobile if your site looks nice. So that's first one. Let's see.
I saw one earlier, and maybe a little bit tongue in cheek, but I think it's a fair question. Brad said something about, and then you have to go spend $10,000 to create the site. And so I thought I would just comment on that because those that may be wondering. I know for me, the site that Spencer mentioned that's doing really, really well, and just about all of my sites, I really have truly bootstrapped those efforts. So in the early days, like I was using mostly free tools, kind of had Longtail Pro for a little while. But honestly, I was doing a lot of the content myself, $5 logo, free theme. I mean, I was working a full-time job, newly married. That was my situation. I didn't have $10,000. I didn't have $500 to go spend on building those sites. And so I was able to, I had more time than money, so I was able to do that and build it up using these strategies that we're talking about, and eventually got to the point where it was profitable enough where I could reinvest that money back into more content and amp things up quicker. But I don't know if you guys have a comment on that, but I would say certainly you could, if you want to come in guns a-blazing and you've got some money saved up, you can certainly come in and invest, in content up front, but you don't have to do it that way.
Right. Yep. I absolutely agree that, especially when you're starting out, you can bootstrap it. If you're able to write your own content, that usually is the biggest cost anyways. And so if you're able to just spend time writing one article a week or whatever amount of time that you're able to put in, that's going to save you the biggest amount of money. So if you're going to outsource everything, you could, sky's the limit. You could spend all kinds of money, but I would bootstrap it, spend a little bit of money, do what work you can, and you can start to see results. And then you can decide to reinvest all the earnings and grow it from there.
So Jake, there's one for you that I'm going to let you answer. She wants to know who manages your Pinterest account. I have a feeling we're going to say there's lots of providers out there, right?
Yeah. Yep. I did it. I did it myself for a really long time, up until like very recently when I just didn't want to fool with it anymore, and we were making enough money to where we could, easily afford to do that. So, yeah, I use Tailwind, like I mentioned. I think it was like $120 a year or something like that. And you don't have to spend that much time to manage it yourself. If you'll invest in that tool, like you can go in and add a bunch of. I would go in and like binge pen like once a month, like add a ton of stuff to my queue, and like they've got a little button where you can just shuffle it up, and I would just let it ride, and that worked great for a couple of years. Now I'm using a virtual assistant service. It's called Virtual Powerhouse is who it's called. It's who I'm using at the moment. So they manage it all. And yeah, somebody mentioned Simple Pen Media. I've never used them. They're a little bit more expensive. I did get a quote from them than what I'm paying, but I've heard nothing but good things about them if you're looking for somebody on the premium side of it.
I've heard good things about them too. So let's see, Spencer, what constitutes an affiliate site?
So an affiliate site is where you're recommending other people's products, right? So you're recommending products that you don't sell yourself. So we talk a lot about Amazon affiliate websites. So it's a website where you might write a review of products that are on Amazon. So an example we've used a lot is survival knives, right? So if you're reviewing different survival knives and you're linking to Amazon, you might make a commission if somebody then clicks on your link, goes and buys that knife on Amazon. You'll get a small cut. So that's an affiliate site, any type of site that refers people somewhere else to buy products, and you get a commission from that. So there's Amazon affiliate sites. There's regular sort of Google AdSense sites. There's all sorts of software products you can be an affiliate for. Lots of different things. So that's what we're talking about.
Another good one, Spencer. How do you determine the right amount of words for each article?
Yeah, that is a good one. In fact, we have a video on that exact question. The video covers a little bit more than just the amount of words, but the short answer is look at how many words the other articles are for sites that are already ranking at Google. So how long are the articles that are the first 3 ranking sites in Google, and try to do better than they are, right? That's one way to do it. It can be a little bit more nuanced than that, but that's the short answer. Is if everybody's only 500 words, make yours 600 words. If everybody's 3,000 words, make yours 3,500 words. Just try to be maybe a little bit longer, a little bit better than existing content out there.
There was one question earlier, Spencer, clarifying about, it was something to the effect of, do you only get the spreadsheet if you buy the whole program, Jules? Which maybe just clarify that the spreadsheet that you were showing is part of organic traffic formula, right?
Correct. Yeah, the spreadsheet that I've referenced and I will show here in just a minute, that is what you get when you join Organic Traffic Formula. That's not something that is available outside of Organic Traffic Formula. That is just one of the tools inside the course there. I know that somebody else, Zafar, asked a couple of times here, do we need Longtail Pro with this program? No, you don't need it. You don't have to have it. It is a tool that, of course, in full disclosure, I created. I am the founder of Longtail Pro. So I still use it and talk about it, but you don't have to have that. In fact, we have an entire section that's called Free Word Research. It's how to do keyword research for free. And so you don't have to have Longtail Pro. We have ways around that if you just want to bootstrap and do it for free.
Yep. And I'll say too, on that note, guys, something I recommend to different people that are on a tight budget is that even with some of the paid tools, we definitely show using paid tools out there like Longtail Pro, Ahrefs, SEMrush, all are technically optional. But when you're first starting out, you know, if you can invest in a month or two of some of those types of products, they really are powerful products that you can get, you know, you can save just a ton of time. And so what I've told people to do before is, you know, pay for like a month or two of it. And honestly, like once you have the tactics and the strategy behind what you're doing, that is money well spent. You know, if you can spend $100 or whatever, because you really can plan out your entire content plan for a site. And you know, pretty much be set. Like if you don't want to continue it, cancel that subscription, and you would have enough content to create and enough work in front of you for the next 6 months to a year easily. I've done that many times. So don't think about it like I've got to buy this for an eternity. You know, so it's up to you.
Right. And sort of that same train of thought here with Organic Traffic Formula. It is a one-time investment of $597. And for some people, that maybe seems like a lot. Other people, that's a no-brainer. We've got lots of people that are already joining here. But it's a small investment that you can make today that will reap the benefits for a long time. You'll have access to Organic Traffic Formula for life. You'll be able to know for sure that you're starting your site out on the right path. And so if you're able to invest $597 the one time and then end up with a site down the road that's making you $500 a month or $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, of course, that's well worth the investment. And so if you can imagine, you know, the work that you'll be able to put in after you've learned the strategies in Organic Traffic Formula, it really is a small investment to build your business. I don't know a whole lot of businesses that you can get started with training of less than $600. And then if you do most of the work yourself, there really isn't a lot outside of that you need to invest. Once you get the strategies right, if you do it yourself, there's a lot more that you need to invest. Of course, you can as you expand and grow your business from there.
I'm going to hit two with one stone here. Somebody asked if Amazon is sort of the only affiliate program that we use. And then I think it was Greg earlier that asked about what are sort of primary and secondary monetization methods that we all use with our sites. I would say that in most cases for us, it is a combination of affiliates, usually an Amazon affiliate where you send people to Amazon to buy stuff Amazon pays you a commission when they buy stuff. And then also ad networks. So like AdThrive, Mediavine, or just Google AdSense, things like that, where people click on stuff and you get paid there. So that would be the combination. But Amazon is not the only affiliate program by any means. There are a ton of affiliate programs out there. And so the strategies that we talk here would apply well beyond Amazon. They would apply across the board.
Somebody just asked if I could show the slide for everything that's on organic traffic formula. So I'm doing that. I'll leave that just for a second, and then I'll go back to the other one. Again, the link is nichepursuits.com/traffic. Dave is saying the link is not working. The web page lists a price of $8.97. There's two prices. There's a pricing table there. The one on the left is $5.97. The one on the right is the other one that you're seeing there that includes.
And make sure you're going to the secure version of the site too, the HTTPS version of the site, not the HTTP version of Niche Pursuits.
Gotcha.
Spencer, there was a good one here. Let's see. Mike asked, how long does it take to get Pinterest traffic, and is RPM as good as SEO traffic? I can answer the RPM piece. I'll let Jake maybe tackle the lengthwise, but the RPMs for me have been just as good as SEO traffic, if not better in some circumstances. Even though the bounce rates can sometimes be higher, I haven't found that it's impacted anything on my site as far as rankings are concerned, having the lower bounce rate. It's just all that extra traffic coming to the site, and my RPMs have been great. Jake, I don't know if you want to chime in.
Yeah, on length of time. I mean, the slide I showed earlier, we saw results like within a month or so when we really kept it up, and then it's grown since then and been a super steady source of traffic. And I've seen some growth in a Pinterest account that I've really just dove into for a totally different site recently, and that's taken off also within a month or two. So I've heard a lot of people say to like really see big gains that you should plan on 2 to 3 months with Pinterest, but I've seen it happen faster. So I think that, I don't know if luck is the right word. I think if you kind of know what you're doing, I definitely think it can pay off faster than that, for sure.
Hey, Spencer, we had another question. Is the $8.97 plan lifetime to the insiders group?
Yes, it is. It is a one-time payment to both Organic Traffic Formula and the Niche Pursuits Insider Group. So that is correct. We do not have a payment plan right now. It's just a one-time payment of $597. Again, that's nichepursuits.com/traffic. I do have two things that I promised I'd do before we closed out the webinar, so I'm going to do that. And then we may stick around and answer some more questions here. I need to give away another Amazon gift card. So if you're still around, you've got a shot here. This is going to also be, or this is going to be a $100 Amazon gift card. We're going to step it up. So, yeah, it's a big one. So this one is, again, you got to type in your answer here. And just trying to think of the best way to do this. So I have got a number in my mind, and the first one to guess the number between 1 and 100 that gets it right will get the gift card. So you can guess as many times as you want, but the first, and unfortunately, I'm going to be the only one that knows it. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pick the winner here.
I'll tell it to you. Oh wait, I think I saw it. Yes, Alan. 77 was the right answer.
Go, Alan.
So Alan is down there somewhere as they're all coming in. 77 was the right answer.
Those numbers are just still coming, aren't they, man?
Yeah. They are a $100 gift card. Thank you, Alan, for getting that. Jason, hopefully you can find that him there somewhere. The other thing that I wanted to show you is the keyword scoring spreadsheet. This is a cool spreadsheet, and because of the screen's been freezing so much, I might not be able to do a full live example per se, but I will walk through the spreadsheet. So So you should be able to see the spreadsheet at least here. This is a spreadsheet, again, you'll get access to when you join Organic Traffic Formula today. So what you can see is on the left, you put your targeted keyword, you input the search volume, the keyword competitiveness, and there are instructions if you don't have Longtail Pro, you can do it without the keyword competitiveness. But the idea is it's going to give you a total keyword score, and anything above a, well, let me look at the notes here. Anything above a 7 is a good enough keyword, and that will turn the cell green here. So there's a lot of formulas in the background that you can't see. But what you do is you just walk through these step by step. So if my keyword is best non-slip bathtub mat, I would come over here to Google. I would paste in the keyword. And again, I might not be able to do this all live, but I often will use the free Moz toolbar here that will give me the page authority and domain authority, a number of links. And I will be able to answer all these questions that are on the spreadsheet. For example, I just input the number of sites with a page authority of less than 30. And so for this particular one, I could input 5. How many sites have a domain authority and page authority less than 30? I can just input 3 there. Again, I'm just looking at the sites and inputting the numbers. How many sites have less than 30 links pointing to them? And again, you can use this free Chrome extension to get those numbers for you. Of course, it's not going to work right now because I'm on a live presentation. If you can still see the spreadsheet here, you would go on, there's 5 or 6 other columns that you would fill out how many words are in the keyword itself. Is it 3, 4, 5 keywords long? Longer is actually better. How many weak titles are in the top 10 results? Or are there any results here that are not targeting the exact keyword? And I think that there are, like this, the wire cutter, for example, is not targeting best non-slip bathtub mat exactly. So that is one sign of weakness. So how many of those results? You just input the number. You input how many of these sites are affiliate sites on the first page, how many are e-commerce sites, and are there any forum or Q&A sites? And once you do that, it's going to give you a score, red or green. You're going to know exactly whether you should go after the keyword or not. It's a really cool tool that I use actually a lot now to know for sure that I'm looking at all of my keywords properly, because sometimes you can get really excited and go, oh man, this keyword gets searched for 5,000 times per month. I really think I can rank for it. But if you go through this spreadsheet, it'll kind of act as a moderator for you to let you know that, hey, you may be out of your league here, or yep, this is a great keyword. You should definitely go after it. It's all formula based. You just fill out the cells and it'll tell you if it's a good or a bad keyword. So that's something that, again, you will get if you are able to join Organic Traffic Formula. But I wanted to show you this spreadsheet so that you could check it out and kind of see how I do my keyword research, how I do it live. And here's a couple of keywords that I just used as an example here. So let me come back here. And okay, we should be able to see the final slide of where you can get started to join Organic Traffic Formula. Again, go over to nichepursuits.com/traffic. You can join today, be one of those founding members. You can get, there's 4 different bonuses that if you join today, you can get access to. 2 of those do expire in less than 24 hours, including the niche verification by myself, Jake, and Jason, and then the keyword starter plan. We're going to find 10 keywords for you specifically for your site to let you know what keywords we would target if we were working on your site. So let's see if there's any additional questions here that we can tackle in the last few minutes.
Cool. Carol has a question for Spencer. Will it work for an e-commerce site, for example, selling t-shirts? Just talking about the Organic Traffic Formula process.
Yeah, so this process is all about getting organic traffic to any type of website that you might have. And so while we don't use a lot of e-commerce examples, the strategies still apply. You're still going to want to produce that content based on low competition keywords. So it's going to teach you, if you're going after certain t-shirt related keywords, you're going to learn how to do that keyword research, how to produce that content, and even do link building. And that is still all applicable to e-commerce sites. These are the same strategies that I used on my own e-commerce site. I had an Amazon FBA business and a website that went along with it. I used these strategies for that business. So yes, there's a lot of takeaways that you can apply in your business as well.
Cool. Jay had a question. Well, there was a question that came in from AB here about Spencer, just asking the difference between the 597 and 897. And I know you touched on it a little bit, but did you want to just talk through that one more time?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. So the 597 is the one-time payment. You get full access to organic traffic formula. Everything that I talked about here tonight, you get all of that for the 597. The 897 option is if you also want access to Niche Pursuits Insider. And the two biggest benefits of Niche Pursuits Insider is that there is a coach-led private Facebook group where we are answering your questions individually. We're a little more active in that Facebook group, but also there's ongoing monthly live training sessions when you join Niche Pursuits Insider each and every month going on. In addition, there is a whole library of old live presentations that we've done for Niche Pursuits Insider. You get access to all of that backlog as well. We've done a lot of presentations, and so you get full access to both Organic Traffic Formula and Niche Pursuits Insider for that price.
And just to quickly follow up on that, like a lot of those live presentations, guys, or we do insider website reviews, things like that, where you can submit your site and we'll go in and just on a live session, like give you feedback on how you could get more traffic, how you could make more money from the traffic you're getting, stuff like that. So we've done a lot of that kind of one-on-one type stuff for insider members.
Hey, there's another question from Lark. Are there tricks for link building that are not labor intensive? Lark says they were an intern for a few years ago and the system was quite lengthy and challenging. Not sure if you can VA it. So curious what you think.
Yeah, Jason, maybe I'll actually let you tackle that one. Jason is sort of our resident expert on link building. He recorded most of the link building videos in the course, so you can dive into what's in there.
Yeah, Lark, I definitely think you can automate pieces of it. It depends on what type of link building you're doing. I personally prefer to have my hands on in certain types of link building because I feel like some of the best links that you can get are the links that you need to be able to interact with real people to do so. But there are definitely tasks that are part of that process that can be easily outsourced, like digging for resource pages and other pieces of that puzzle. So yes, you can outsource a portion of it. And I think if you're good at automating processes, you can outsource the entire thing. But there are still pieces of it that I would prefer to keep my hands on. But none of them are labor intensive, in my opinion.
Yep, and everything that we've laid out really is step by step. You can follow the videos. We've got resources. In addition to the couple of spreadsheets that I've mentioned here, there's also checklists that we've got, PDF checklists, and other standard operating procedures that you didn't see here tonight, but that will help you both in the link building process and the content production process. All of that is there for you to follow along. This really is built for 2018, for now. These are white hat strategies. We're not going into any type of black hat, sort of shady link building. These are things that you can do for your sites that Google's going to love, that is working right now to provide true value, so you don't have to worry if your site's going to get penalized overnight. As long as you start right from the beginning and follow these processes, your site's going to get great organic traffic, and that's what this is all about. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. We've been here for about 2 hours, it looks like. So I appreciate you guys sticking around. Again, you can go to nichepursuits.com nichepursuits.com/traffic to become a founding member, to get everything that we talked about that's involved in that. We've got the bonuses, we've got the keyword and content scoring spreadsheet, and then of course the several hours of training videos that we've created so that you can follow along and build your own successful website. So unless Jake or Jason, unless you see any final questions that are sort of burning questions, I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Yep, I think we're good.
Yep, I think we're good.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys, Jake and Jason, for joining me here, and especially everyone that's stuck around. We've still got a lot of people here. Thank you, everyone, wherever you are, for staying up late or getting up early, whatever time of day it is. I hope you got some value out of the training itself. We put a lot of time and effort into that, so hopefully you got some great stuff there. But if you want even more, please go over to nichepursuits.com/traffic. Again, nichepursuits.com/traffic. You can get access to Organic Traffic Formula, get those in-depth strategies from Jake, Jason, and myself. With that, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.